We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto District of Seattle. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks. Shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. To begin the drive. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27. This defense for the Steelers, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. Straight ahead, Walker knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. The Seahawks at 8-1 on the year, and they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here, and if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason, and we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Off the bootleg, Davidson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
They'll go option to the short side. And some room to work. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, first down. That may be a sneak peek on this opening drive of what this young rookie can showcase, his legs.
And normally, as you start a game, you're just thinking, can he get the snap? Can he hand off? Can he just execute? Instead, he doesn't waste any time on wrapping another dimension to his game, showing off those wheels, and picking up some nice yardage.
Oh, wide open, complete. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 59 39 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run on first down. Carrington, and the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Good work there, holding them out on first down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
They'll try again, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game, Charles, much talked about coming in. And you think there's a real chance this is a Super Bowl preview?
I do, because as things stand, and I'll give you a little bit of a caveat here, that maybe things will shake out a little bit if someone loses along the way. But here we are right now. These are your 2 current number 1 seeds, and I think they're both good enough to make it to the big game.
To throw on second down, Davidson. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy complete.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. T.J. Watt, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Operating from the gun, Davidson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Donahue. He's got this to Pickens. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now a handoff up the middle. Carrington. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and goal on the Seahawks 2-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. He'll try again. Trying to find a lane, but he finds nothing but defenders. Stop for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd down, Carrington, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0.
14, Seahawks nothing. Chris Boswell, the kick.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Back to Walker on 1st down. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Steps away to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Up the middle they go. Carrington. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, You can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. An incompletion as a result.
To throw on 3rd down, Davidson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good head-down running on the return. Gets about 15 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are, for the moment, the best team in football, 9-0 entering play here. And, Charles, I don't know if we'd call them a surprise 9-0, but the way that they have been winning definitely opened up a lot of eyes around the NFL.
Well, what we've seen from them so far this season, you can't stop them on offense. You can't score on them on defense. So, to me, if you're going to play against them, you have to bring your best game and hope they throw a clunker in that day to give yourself a chance.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Back to throw. Donahue. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Donahue. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. Now he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you. Two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away. Tuck it away because you've got to take care of the ball.
And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Another shot from the one on 2nd and goal. Off the bootleg. Donahue out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that will lead to a 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill it for a loss.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, Donahue. A great open field tackle that's going to stop him shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Second down and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. 79 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level.
The pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 3rd down, Davidson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay. As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. A final shot before break. Donahue. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
Off the play fake. Donahue. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Off play action. Donahue. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now it's Hammond. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Now here's Michael Dixon. He'll boot it away from about his 35. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Run coverage excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus? Tackling the runner for a loss.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. to throw. Davidson. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
To throw on third down. Davidson. Finding Lockett for the catch here on the out route. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line. Off the play fake. Davidson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short path.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Cameron Hayward in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And he's going to go down again. T.J. Watt, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The kick by Lutz is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
On first down, Carrington. And he's got some space here. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. On the move past the 40.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Looking to throw on second down. Davidson to the right side and complete to Metcalf. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Out of the gun now on third down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw on second down, Davidson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On third down, Davidson setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Hammond, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on fourth. Here's first and 10. Oh, they'll get this to Metcalf on the jet sweep. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Being chased out left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, the 20. 10, and they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5. Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Carrington, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick.
And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Steelers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point put through by Boswell, and the lead is now 24.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. That one will set them back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the second down screen play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. To throw on third down, Davidson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown. DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Looking to throw. Donahue. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And now the rookie's free. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it. And they will get back to within one score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the fourth. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And it's the Steelers that come up with it. And that should just about do it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And say what you want about Lumen Field here in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league when you're on the road.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something by Benz looking cute. That's honest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the. Ain't no way somebody daddy ain't gon' give it a. Yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she brought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans, yeah. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes,